Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are mapping out a massive tectonic shift in the AI landscape. We're going to explore exactly why AI educator and researcher Andrej Karpathy joining Anthropic might just be, honestly, 2026's most pivotal tech story. We've got a ton of absolutely fascinating ground to cover today, from autonomous coding agents to staggering trillion-dollar valuations. We're going to break the whole shebang down step by step.
So, let's kick things off with a massive question to hook us in. What actually happens when one of the top AI educators, someone who has literally spent years teaching people how to build neural networks, starts building autonomous AI researchers? You know, this really isn't just a simple personnel change at a tech company. It represents a fundamental, ground-up shift in how artificial intelligence systems are actually developed and scaled.
Section 1. Karpathy boards the rocket ship. A timeline of spring 2026.
Okay, so this all went down incredibly fast. Just over a few spring months. Back in March of 2026, Karpathy revealed a highly publicized demo of an autonomous agent. By May, boom, he had officially joined Anthropic. And by June, he was already publicly analyzing their groundbreaking Fable 5 model. It's just a crazy sprint of innovation that perfectly captures the wild velocity of the AI industry right now.
And what's really fascinating here is how he specifically phrased his announcement on May 19th. He stated he was returning to R&D at the frontier of large language models. He's blending that well-known passion of his for education with a serious desire to get back into hardcore research and development. It's a huge signal that Anthropic is working on frontier models requiring a very deep, fundamental understanding of AI architecture.
Section 2. The Auto Research Agent, Building the Karpathy Loop.
People are actually calling this the Karpathy loop. And guys, it is a complete paradigm shift. Instead of a human engineer writing a script, going to grab a coffee, and then analyzing the results hours later, the AI system iteratively and autonomously conducts the research and optimizes the code itself, completely without human intervention. We are literally talking about an AI that acts as its own research scientist.
To really put this into perspective, let's just talk about the raw numbers from that March demo. His autonomous auto research agent didn't just run a couple of tests. It autonomously set up and executed 700 distinct optimization experiments in just 2 days. I mean, think about it. A human researcher would need months, and probably a very concerning amount of caffeine, to match that volume of work.
And the payoff for all that? An 11% training speed up for a language model. It definitively proves that AI can effectively improve its own underlying systems. And in the tech world, an 11% gain compounds rapidly. This early success signals a near future where swarms of these agents handle the heavy lifting of optimization, snowballing into massive technological leaps.
Section 3. Javin's paradox in software. The impact of Claude 5 Fable.
Now, to really grasp what's happening in the market right now, we got to talk about a classic economic idea called Javin's paradox. It basically states that as technological progress makes using a resource more efficient, the overall consumption of that resource actually goes up, not down. Karpathy applied this directly to Claude Fable 5. Because AI makes creating working software so incredibly efficient and available on demand, the overall demand for software isn't shrinking at all. It's absolutely exploding.
So we are witnessing this incredibly profound shift. We are moving entirely away from the old model of buying expensive, clunky enterprise software suites that try to do everything for everyone. Instead, we're entering a totally new model of on-demand, highly customized, bespoke applications. Software is literally becoming something you just generate for a specific task and then potentially discard right after.
Because models like Fable 5 can just generate working code right on demand, custom tools are skyrocketing. Ever wished you had a specific data dashboard just for one Tuesday afternoon meeting? Boom, the AI builds it. Need an explainer app or a hyper-specific test suite? Generate it instantly. We're entering an era of disposable, bespoke productivity that is fundamentally redefining how we work.
Section 4. Anthropic's trillion-dollar era. The scale of the rocket ship.
Let's talk scale, because Anthropic's growth didn't just trend upward, it basically went vertical. They jumped from a $9 billion run rate at the end of 2025 to an astounding $30 billion by early 2026. Reports actually indicate they passed OpenAI in business adoption this spring, capturing over a third of businesses by systematically rolling out enterprise tools across the legal, healthcare, and cybersecurity sectors.
And to fuel that kind of insane hypergrowth, they are locking down infrastructure at a scale we've barely seen before. We're talking about taking over all compute capacity at SpaceX and xAI's Colossus One data center. That means access to over 220,000 GPUs. Oh, and on top of that, they've committed to accessing 3.5 gigawatts of next-gen Google TPU compute capacity. You just cannot build self-improving AI without an absolute ocean of compute, and Anthropic is locking it all down.
All of this relentless scaling, the revenue, the compute, grabbing top talent, it's culminated in a massive financial milestone. Following a completely massive $65 billion Series H funding round, Anthropic confidentially submitted a draft registration statement for an IPO.
And here is the number that literally has the entire tech world talking right now, a $965 billion valuation. This staggering figure completely leapfrogs them over their rivals, making Anthropic the most valuable startup in the world as they prepare to enter the public markets.
Which brings us to a massive, slightly terrifying final question. Anthropic actually just recently issued a public warning urging the industry to develop a brake pedal for AI systems that might soon be capable of self-improvement without human oversight. As these self-improving systems accelerate at an unprecedented scale, fueled by nearly $1 trillion in capital and the brightest minds like Andrej Karpathy, we really are left to wonder, how is society going to adapt to an AI that is rapidly learning to research, build, and govern itself? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. See you next time.